Hello everyone and welcome to this week's Game Development Log video diary, and this week I'm going to be showing you guys all of the updates that I've made during the last 2 weeks. So the first thing that I did was to work on loading up world files produced by the world editor into the game itself. As you've already seen, I now have that river area in the game. I can now properly explore that large town that I made in the world editor, and it's also made it really easy to simply tidy up and decorate areas in the world, such as this area next to the mountain. And this leads me on to the next thing that I had to work on this week. Because the world is going to be pretty big, there's no way that I could load it all up at once, so I had to work on getting the world to load chunk by chunk in a separate thread while the game is running. This bit was pretty simple. It just loads up chunks of the world when they come into range and then unloads them when they get far enough out of range. But this unfortunately wasn't the end of the problem. As well as there being loads of different terrain chunks, there are also hopefully going to be thousands of different entities and items and sound effects and animations and so on. I also don't want to have all of these resources loaded up at the same time, so I had to work on a system to make sure that models and textures and entities etc. are only loaded up when necessary and then unloaded when no longer needed. Back in the world editor, I finished off the sound node tab, which now allows you to add sound nodes into the world like this. You can then drag them around the world, position them wherever you want, and then over here on the right you can change the settings for the currently selected sound node. So you can change the height of the node, you can choose what sound effect it plays, and then you can change the range of the sound effect. As you can see, there are 2 separate ranges here. The inner sphere shows the areas in which the sound effect is played at full volume, and the outer sphere shows the total range of the sound effect. Outside of the outer sphere the sound isn't played at all, and between the outer and inner spheres the sound effect's volume increases the closer you get to the inner sphere. And as I said, when you're inside the inner sphere, the sound effect is played at its full volume. Finally, I made it that these sphere guides only show up when you're in the sound node tab, so that they don't get in your way when you're trying to edit other things. Back in the game, I finally programmed a way to load up item files created by the item editor. So I've been able to load up a few new weapons into the game this week, such as this cool staff made by Matterstar and these 2 types of sword made for me by a friend. And if you want to help out by creating some content for the game, then you can do that very soon, as I'm going to be spending the next couple of weeks finalising the dev tools, fixing any last minute bugs with them, and getting them distributed out to everyone who would like to help. So if you'd like to contribute any models, textures, icons, animations, or you just want to use the dev kit to help me create content for the game, then do send me an email so that I can send you a copy of the dev kit in around 2 weeks' time. So that is it for this week. Next week I'm going to be mainly just working on getting the dev tools ready and creating some videos about how to use them, so I'm not really sure if there'll be a devlog video next Friday, but I'll make one if there's anything worth showing you. Don't forget, if you're interested in seeing what I get up to during the week, you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and IndieDB. But yeah, thank you guys very much for watching this video. Do subscribe if you haven't already. Have a brilliant week, and I will see you all next time.